This is the Verizon iPhone 4 LCD Digitizer Screen Frame Assembly Replacement Guide. So, what you're going to want to do is have a refrigerator magnet aside so you can keep all your screws organized and in place. They are at all different sizes, so you want to make sure that they do stay organized. You want to have the pentalobe screwdriver. If you do have the pentalobe bottom screws, those are the only pentalobe screws in the entire iPhone. You also want to have your safe pry tool and a Phillips screwdriver. This should have been sent to you with your screen. If you didn't receive it, feel free to contact us and we'll send you one of those. In this video I use separate tools, make the process go just a little bit faster. So first off, to be able to tell whether or not you have the Verizon or the AT&T iPhone, the AT&T iPhone has a SIM card tray on the side of it. This does not, so it is a Verizon. So first what you want to do is remove the bottom screws. Then you can flip the iPhone over and push up on the back plate. Should just slide right up, and then you can pull it off and set that aside. Then what you want to do is remove the battery. You want to have a Phillips screwdriver for that. Remove the screw right here on the battery. Place that on your magnet. Keep that organized. Then what you want to do is disconnect the battery connector with your safe pry tool. Okay. Then after you've disconnected your battery, you can go ahead and lift up on this tab right here that pulls your battery out from your iPhone. You can go ahead and lift up your battery and set that aside as well. And you can go ahead and tape the tab down to keep it out of your way. Then what you're going to want to do is remove the 5 screws that hold down the shield right here, covering all of your ribbon cable connectors. Once again, make sure you keep them all in order. They are different sizes. Then you should be able to use your safe pry tool and lift up on this shield. It should just come away. You kind of want to lift it from the left hand corner and push it back this way and lift out from underneath this shield right here. Then you can go ahead and place this shield aside. Now what you're going to want to do is remove the 6 ribbon cable connectors that are here. With this one, you can go ahead and pull the camera out after you undo it. and place that aside. And then there's the ribbon cable for the LCD and the digitizer. Then what you're going to want to do is remove the two screws on this shield right here. Then you can go ahead and remove the shield and place it aside as well. Then you can use your safe pry tool again and lift up on this ribbon cable. It is delicate, so be careful. It's best off if you come at it from the right side. And use your pry tool to lightly pry up on the entire ribbon cable. And fold it back aside. Then what you can do is remove this shield right here by removing this screw. Go ahead and remove the shield as well. Then what you're going to want to do is remove this shield over here. There's one screw holding that one in. Go ahead and use your safe pry tool to remove that. And you can go ahead and place that shield aside as well. Next, what you're going to want to do is remove the ribbon cable for the switches. And fold that back as well. Next, what you're going to want to do is remove the two bottom screws, the screws that hold the speaker assembly in. Careful, and after you remove this screw over here, there is a little plastic bezel, little piece of plastic here. You don't want to lose that. That does keep the speaker assembly onto the frame. Go ahead and place that aside as well. Now what you're going to want to do is use your safe pry tool and lift up on the wire that is connected to the motherboard for the speakers. It is snaked around a couple of little metal shields, so you're going to have to undo it from that shield. That way, like so. Then you can go ahead and remove the speaker assembly and set that aside. Next, what you're going to want to do is take your Phillips screwdriver and remove the screws that hold the motherboard in. There are 5. There's one right here, one right here, one right here, one right here, and one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This screw up here also holds in a little metal shield. Go ahead and remove that as well. It's a little golden shield. You can place that aside as well. After you've removed those 5 screws, the motherboard should just lift out. Like so. And you can go ahead and place that aside as well. Then what you're going to want to do is remove the vibrator. Use your safe pry tool and very, very gently pry underneath it. It is just glued to the frame. And you can go ahead and place that aside as well. Now after you've finished with that, you can go ahead and start removing the screen. There are 10 screws holding the screen in. There are 6 bigger ones with washers on the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there are 4 in the corners, smaller ones without washers. 1, 2, 3. Where to go? 4. It's covered. So go ahead and remove those. What I generally do is use 2 refrigerator magnets and put the screen screws on a different refrigerator magnet than the other screws, because by this point, as you can probably see, there are quite a few screws and it is pretty easy to get them mixed up since they are similar sizes. After you've removed the 10 screen screws, the screen should basically just pry up. You can go ahead and use your safe pry tool and place it in anywhere you may see a crack in between the black frame and your silver frame. Now, it is glued on, so it is slightly difficult to get it up. It may make it a little easier if you use a hair dryer. Also keep in mind, if your screen is very shattered, it will take quite some time to get all of the glass out. You do need to take all of the glass out. Any bit of glass left behind could potentially damage parts inside of the iPhone. So use your safe pry tool, place it in between the plastic frame and the metal frame, and slide it around, releasing it from the frame. the ribbon cables for the LCD and the digitizer should come out with the screen. They do go through a hole, so snake them out without damaging them. And as I said, after you remove the screen, sometimes there will be glass left behind on the frame. You do have to remove all of the glass before you put your new screen on. Now the new screen will look like this, and all you should need to do is fish your ribbon cables through the hole where they came out from, and it should go right in place where the old one came out, like so. And everything else is reverse of the process that you took it apart.